This is the story of Bjana James, a 37-year-old Bronx mother of two, an 8-year-old daughter and 12-year-old son, who was found dead in her apartment on March 19, 2022, murdered by her boyfriend, 35-year-old Nashan Walsh, in the most brutal way possible. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. Bjana was born and grew up in the Bronx, New York. She was the eldest of 4 children and had 2 sisters and a brother. She grew up in a loving and supportive family and had a close bond with her mother. She attended public schools in the Bronx and was a bright and ambitious student. She excelled in math and science and had a passion for learning. She also enjoyed playing cards, dancing, and singing and had a cheerful and outgoing personality. Bjana graduated from high school in 2002 and enrolled in college, where she studied business administration. She had a dream of becoming an entrepreneur and opening her own casino. She also wanted to travel the world and experience different cultures. Bjana worked part-time as a card dealer at the Empire Casino in Yonkers, where she met many friends and customers. She loved her job and was praised for her skills and professionalism. She also earned a good income, which she used to support herself and her family. Bjana became a mother at a young age and had 2 children, Maya and Junior, with her ex-husband. She was devoted to her children and wanted to give them the best life possible. She was involved in their education and activities and taught them to be respectful and responsible. She also spoiled them with gifts and treats and took them on vacations and outings. Bjana was a proud and happy mother, who cherished every moment with her children. According to Bjana's family and friends, Bjana and Nashan had known each other since childhood and had been dating for about 3 years. Bjana fell in love with Nashan and hoped to start a new life with him. She was aware of Nashan's criminal past but believed that he had changed and that he loved her. She tried to help him find a job and supported him financially and emotionally. She also tried to introduce Walsh to her children and wanted them to accept him as a father figure. However, the relationship was not as perfect as Bjana portrayed it. Nashan was abusive and controlling, and he isolated Bjana from her family and friends. He had a problem with drugs and alcohol, and he would become more violent and paranoid when he was under the influence. He often accused Bjana of cheating on him and threatened to harm her and her children. Bjana confided in her family about Nashan's behavior, and they had urged her to leave him. According to reports, Nashan had assaulted Bjana on multiple occasions and had even tried to strangle her. Bjana had filed several complaints against Nashan and had obtained a restraining order against him. But Nashan had violated the restraining order and had continued to harass Bjana. Bjana had told her friends that Nashan was crazy and dangerous, and that she feared for her life. She had planned to break up with Nashan and had asked him to move out of her apartment. But Nashan had refused to leave and had become more angry and violent. Their relationship was also affected by their children. Bjana wanted Nashan to be a part of her children's lives, and to treat them as his own. However, Nashan did not get along with her children, and he resented them. He was jealous of Bjana's attention and affection for her children, and he felt that they were a burden and a nuisance. He was rude and hostile to her children. The children did not like Nashan, and they were afraid of him. They had told their father, Bjana's ex-husband, about Nashan's behavior. They had also begged their mother to get away from him. On March 17, 2022, Bjana sent a text message to one of her friends, saying that she was scared of Nashan and that he was going to kill her. She said that Nashan was acting strange and that he had left the house. She said she did not know where he was, or what he was going to do. She said she was afraid for her life and that she needed help. She also informed them that she would call back later when Nashan returned. But she never did. Her friend tried to contact her several times but got no response. When her mother found out about it, she went to the apartment to do a welfare check but did not get inside on March 19, 2022. Then one of her siblings entered the apartment and saw Bjana lying on the couch, with blood all over her body. He was shocked and horrified, and immediately called 911 and reported the scene. He also called her mother and told her what had happened. The police and paramedics arrived and pronounced Bjana dead at the scene.
Developing tonight, an intense manhunt is happening for the person who slashed and killed a woman inside of her home. Her family, of course, shaken by her murder. Her mother says she just spoke to her daughter hours before her death in the Bronx. News 4's Anjali Hemphill is live in Mott Haven. And Anjali, you heard from her mother. What do they believe led to this death?
Well, Rana, police have identified the woman who was killed as 37-year-old Bjana James. Her family believes she was the victim of domestic violence.
I'm just so overwhelmed by this. I'm just going to really miss her. That's my child.
Stacy James still in shock to learn her daughter was killed just a few hours after she last saw her Friday night. Bjana James later found dead inside her apartment, slashed across her throat.
She was a great person. Bjana had a big heart. She loved everybody, and you felt it in her presence.
Loved ones of the 37-year-old left candles outside her building along East 147th Street in the Bronx, where police were called around 2:30 Saturday morning for an assault. They say they discovered James unresponsive inside her apartment with a slash wound to her neck. She was pronounced dead on the scene.
She's a wonderful person, very gifted. Many people loved her, but her power was taken by a monster.
Police have not released any information about a possible suspect, but Stacy believes her daughter was the victim of domestic violence.
And I feel that if anyone knows about anything about anybody that's having a violence problem, don't hide from it. Spread it out. Let someone know. Because all of this, could have been avoided. But I guess it was just too late.
The medical examiner determined that she had died from a deep injury to her throat and that she had also suffered other injuries, such as bruises and scratches. The medical examiner also estimated that she had been dead for at least 24 hours and that she had died sometime on March 18, 2022. The police launched an investigation and identified Nashan as the prime suspect. They said that he had fled the scene and that they were looking for him. They found evidence of a struggle in the apartment and recovered the murder weapon, which was a kitchen knife, from the trash. They also found his phone, which contained photos and messages that implicated him in the crime. They said that Nashan had expressed remorse and had said that he wanted to turn himself in, but he never did. The police tracked Nashan's location and found him at a hotel in Manhattan. They arrested him and brought him to the station. They said that he had confessed to killing James and had given them a detailed account of what had happened. He said that he and Bjana had gotten into an argument and that he had lost control. He said that he had grabbed a knife and taken her life. He said that he had then left her on the couch and had fled the scene. He said that he had acted in a fit of rage and that he regretted his actions. The police also reviewed the text messages that Bjana had sent to her friend, which was a clear indication that Bjana was in danger and that she was seeking help. They said that this text message was also a potential clue to Nashan's motive and that it suggested that he had planned to kill Bjana and that he had left the house to prepare for the murder. The arrest of Nashan was not without controversy. According to reports, he was already in police custody for another crime before Bjana's body was discovered. He had knocked unconscious an EMT who came to help him after he had called 911 from a nearby deli and babbled about a murder. He had headbutted the EMT so hard that the first responder lost consciousness. Nashan was charged with murder and could face up to 25 years to life in prison if convicted. His lawyer claimed that he was mentally ill and that he had a history of drug abuse and trauma. But Bjana's family and friends were outraged by Nashan's defense, and they did not believe his claims of mental illness. They said he was a cold-blooded murderer and had shown no remorse or empathy for his actions. They said that he had no excuse and that he deserved the maximum sentence. They also said that they would attend every court hearing and that they would make sure that he would never see the light of day again. The murder shocked and saddened the community, especially her family and friends. They said that they were devastated by the loss of their loved one and that they wanted justice for her. She was a good person, who did not deserve to die in such a horrible way. She was a loving mother, who cared for her children. She was a hardworking woman, who enjoyed her job. She was a generous person, who helped others in need. According to her mother, Stacy James, she was a wonderful and gifted person. She said that many people loved her, but her power was taken by a monster that just took her life senselessly. She said that she was proud of her daughter and that she had raised her well. They also held a vigil outside her apartment to honor her memory. They lit candles, sang songs, and prayed for her soul. They also shared stories and memories of her and celebrated her life. They hoped that Nashan would rot in prison, and suffer the same pain and humiliation that he had inflicted on Bjana, that he would be convicted and sentenced to the maximum penalty and that he would never get out. They would not rest until justice was served and that they would fight for Bjana's rights. Our deepest condolences to the family of Bjana James. May her soul continue to rest in peace.